Well guys, we had more rain this morning than was unpredicted, so I'm still on rain delay. Still haven't made much planting progress at all here, but I figured we'd do some recreation today. I've got a few tractors sitting here around the yard that I've been wanting to do this with, especially this one right here. So we're going to put these girls on my M&W PTO dyno and see what happens. First one up is Oliver 770. If you remember, I had problems with it at the tractor pull in Shinshin, Kansas, where it would run out of fuel and die. Right now, I've had it sitting here at wide open throttle for a good 3 or 4 minutes, sitting here running on the dyno. We'll walk over here and see how it's doing. It's a water-cooled dyno, so I had to feed it with a garden hose to keep the coolers cold. But I'm actually still waiting for it to come up to temp. I might have to turn the water down a touch, because it's still, I mean, it's warm, but it's not cold. To bring the dyno down to 500, that red line is 540 PTO RPM, which is what you need to get an accurate horsepower reading. Then you come over here to the blue scale, which is horsepower at 535 RPM. And it looks like it's putting out about, 44 PTO horsepower, which that's a pretty healthy little 770 Oliver at that point in time. Now, it might be governed a little high. That's no load right there. No load at all. We spin the wheel and bring her back down. You watch this gauge here. That's 540 on the nose right there, and yeah, still 44, 45 PTO horsepower. So that's pretty healthy little 770 Oliver. I don't see anything weird. Looks like I got some oil burning off the head because it's the first time it's probably been hot. 197, 198. That's perfectly safe there. Not getting hot. Looks like we're burning some oil off. That's just fine. Yeah, it's running good. A little warm as you get close to the top. Running pretty darn good, really. So I'd say I got my fuel issue figured out. I just cut. We'll idle it down now because we know it's fine. So what I did here to fix my fueling problem is I just put 3/8 fuel hose on. It had a copper brake line with small internal diameter before, and it looks like we have solved the problem on this one. So this is a healthy little tractor. I still have a side panel I need to put on this thing, but I'd say we got this one sorted out and it's ready for the next pull, which will be Garden City, I believe, in July. But we'll let the dyno cool down here for a second. Unhook this Oliver once it cools down and go grab something else. I'm leaning towards the 1370 case or the 1206 that you guys I just came in with, and I've made some updates to it. So yeah, and then I think I might grab my 1085 Massey Ferguson out of the barn too. Well guys, had a little bit of a delay before the next round of PTO dyno stuff. Had to get cows to grass, but I got a 1370 out here. Had to find an adapter for a shaft, no big deal. But I got the tractor warming up. It's sitting at about 1200 RPM. Not pulling real hard. I got the dyno loaded down just a little to warm it up too. And we'll let both of these come up to temp here and see what happens. Need to pull up tractor data and see what the recommended PTO horsepower is on a 1370, and so we know what we're aiming for, and let's have some fun with this one too. Okay, I got the case wound up. It's all warmed up. Let's load her down. About 120 horsepower. Working pretty hard. Let's check the RPMs on the tractor here. We're a little low. It's hard to load with this little dyno. Oil pressures and temps are good. Just a touch more. Yeah, it's in here 140. That's a pretty healthy old case. That's a pretty healthy old case 1370 there. We're sitting there making 140 horsepower. Like it's nothing. It's got plenty more to load. I think we'll back it off here. Idle it back some, let the dyno cool down, the tractor cool down, and go grab something different. 1206, maybe, 1456. Dang. Pretty great tractor, really. On tractor number 2 for the day. Had to take a quick pause and haul all the bulls to pasture to get them ladies bred up. Grab the 1085 here out of the shed. We'll get it. It's warming up now. I got it 110 here, 1250 RPM, pulled down about half. It's rated horsepower, so in the 40 horsepower range. 1468 sure looking good over there. And then there's a 650 sitting here we're working on. That's we got some video coming on that project if I ever make any progress. So we're letting this one warm up. That 1370 end up making 140. Nebraska tested horsepower is 143, so that's pretty darn close. But we're just letting the tractor come up to temp here, which would be that gauge. It's creeping up there. We're spinning about 1350 RPM. Oil pressure looks great. We're charging. Dyno to cool it. Looks like we're pretty good on dyno temperature, so that's nice. Gonna let it sit here and run for a little bit. Once that comes up to temp, we'll load her down. Should make like 70 horsepower in the PTO, I believe. So this thing runs really good, so I'd be shocked if it didn't. Well, it's warmed up now, and while I was waiting for that to warm up, I went and fired up the 1206. So we got that thing wrapped up to full throttle here. We're going to load her down to the rated 540 PTO RPM. A little more. Right on. Sitting here making, looks like right around 74, 73. wrapped up the Massey, cooled it down. While I was cooling it down, I got the 1206 over here. It's warming up on the dyno now. Typical 12 with a little bit of haze. That's pretty regular. We're about 1250, 1500 RPM right now on it. Just gonna let her sit here and run for a minute. Get real nice and warm. Sitting here spinning. PTO RPM about 325, 350. So keep letting this thing warm up, and then we'll load her down. I think this will be the last one for the day, unless I go to town and bring my 1456 out. It pulled a baler into town to sell earlier this week, so yeah, we'll just update you when I get this thing working. Well guys, I think I got bad news. 1206 is running awesome. I mean, it's just shooting a stream here, but I think it needs a PTO clutch. I go to load it, we get down to that 540 range, and we'll get there, we load it, still not up to 10, we just start losing RPM pretty suddenly. I can get it about, maybe that's about 95, 100 right there, but I start loading it too much more. Clutch is holding right now, but yeah, she runs good, doing its thing. We're right around 100 PTO horsepower right now, 100, but this PTO clutch is concerning me. I'm having trouble getting it dialed in where I need it. Tractor's running pretty darn good right there. Little turbine, pretty normal. Running about 180. Everything is running real good. But I think my PTO clutches might need replaced, but it's running good right there. I think we're gonna back her off now before I completely ruin the PTO clutches. But heck, that ran pretty good, so. We're gonna let it cool down there for a while now. We're not hot by any means, but it'd be nice to cool this thing down some. We're gonna let it sit here and kind of high idle a little and cool my dyno down, cool the PTO clutches down hopefully. So I think we're gonna end up replacing those. Or, you know, we'll just delete it because it's a Western Kansas tractor. I don't really even need PTO on this girl. So throw a plate in, call it a day, but not running too bad. We burned a lot of old oil and stuff off the manifolds and whatnot. I got my temp gun out here. It's not running. Yeah, 180, 190, 200. It's got her a little warm, but nothing. I mean, that one's pretty warm, but it's right below the turbo. 180. Yeah, I mean, it's running pretty good. So I'd say this thing's a healthy old tractor for sure. So that was fun. I like doing these 1206s because they just like to smoke. I like to get my 1456 out here and do the same with it. So we're gonna let this thing run for a little bit and probably be in unless I have time to go get my 1456.